Okay. And here you have to fill in a few things. Okay, so the principal is usually the money or amount borrowed. Sometimes it's also known as balance owing. Notice that it's capital P here. Then there's interest. It's the cost of borrowing or finance charge. Vehicle loans typically should be paid off in 5 to 7 years. Most banks just do 5 for a used car. If you're buying brand new, you can go 7 years, 8 years. But remember, guys, car is a depreciating asset. It goes down over time. So banks don't want to take too long to pay it off because they know that at some point it's going to be worth less than what you owe them if they take too long. So they know that. Interest rates are commonly, this is a bit big if. It all depends on the situation, your credit score, all of that. But anywhere between 3 and 7%. I do know that new is sometimes 0%. I know that. I've seen them. Sometimes it's 0.99%, but that's brand new and it's rare. Okay, and I believe that the interest is in the price of the car anyway, so they kind of fooling you a little bit. This part right here, I'm going to leave for Monday. I actually give you a little diagram, like I made you copy a bunch of graphs and stuff. So we're going to leave this for Monday. I'm going to go into the math part right away and then come back to this, okay? Because I want you to understand interest. If you understand interest, yes, you're going to be paying it, but at least you know where that money is going and how you can avoid interest charges unnecessarily. So let's go to the formulas page. You need to pay attention to this one, and this one has to find its way to your study sheet. These are not on any formula sheet whatsoever. I made them up, okay? What's the loan? It's the purchase price, okay? Purchase price minus down payment. Okay, so if you have a car that you're interested in is 10 grand and you have 2 grand saved up, you put the 2 grand down, and so the loan that you're going to get from the bank is 8 grand, right? So that's the idea here. Monthly payment, and I will tell you what I use for it. I always use PMT for payment, and we only deal with monthly payments in this class, even though in reality there's bi-weekly, semi-monthly, but the idea is the same. So here you go, purchase minus down. You do that first. It has to be in brackets. Times, watch this. This is important. It's going to be a fraction, always out of 1,000. And at the top, there's something that I call a table rate. Somebody trying to get in? Or did I just hear? Am I hearing things? Table rate. That table that I'm talking about is going to be on page 18. Okay? And this part right here, watch this. What is this again? purchase price minus down. That is the loan. So it comes back here. Okay, it's just here it's standalone, here it's going to be used right there. If the question asks total paid to the bank, I use this, total paid to the bank. You have to use this formula, payment times the number of years. Sorry. Can I undo this? It's nicer if I do it this way. Payments times 12 months, because it's monthly payments, times the number of years. That's how you figure out how much you paid the bank. You take that payment times 12, that's a year. Then you if it took you 5 years, then you're going to multiply it by 5. Okay? Total interest on the loan. Watch this. I'm using letters TI. Okay? Total interest. So you take your payment. The first part is going to be copy paste of what I did before. It's going to be the same thing. Total I paid the bank minus, watch this, the loan. Where did the loan, I talked about the loan up here. So the number you end up getting in front of here comes back, right? So you figure out total paid to the bank minus the loan they gave you in the first place. That difference is your loan, as your total interest, sorry. And watch this, very important that you get the letters right. Interest paid on the first month, only the first month. It's so important, I'm going to highlight it. Not total, first month. And I use lowercase I for that one. Lowercase I, you take your loan, you multiply that by, watch this, not out of 1,000, it's out of 100. Please don't make that mistake because students think 1,000 here must be 1,000 here. No, it's out of 100. So this is the interest rate. Not the table rate, the interest rate. And all of that divided by 12. You can do this in brackets if you want. Yeah. Yeah. Loan times interest rate divided by 100. Why am I dividing it by 100? Because interest rates are usually given as a percent, right? So 3.25% divided by 100. This thing would technically turn into 0.0325, right? And so I'm telling you, make sure you divide it by 100. You know what the danger is here? I'm trying to think. Some students get it as a decimal, and then they divide it by 100 again. And so you got to make sure that you understand that this 100 is doing that, turning it into a decimal. Okay. Total paid for the car, down plus total paid to the bank. So it's basically total paid for the car, not to the bank. It's yeah, down payment plus, how do you figure out the total paid to the bank? It's payment times 12 times years. This is total paid to the bank. Look up here, total paid to the bank, payment times 12 times years. Payment times 12 times years. That's how much you paid for the bank itself, for the car itself, okay? I'm twisting everything here. So if anything else for Monday, you have this on your study sheet. Please label correctly. Don't just have TPP, TI, and then you're like, I don't know what stands for what, right? Can I add one more thing here? Total interest on loan. It's also known as finance charge. Okay. Sometimes they're like, hey, what's the finance charge? How much did the bank charge you for this loan altogether? And so that's that. Okay. So study sheet. Now I can tell you already. It's gonna take about half a page for vehicle finance, not just one box. Okay. So you get to use half a page because I know there are a lot of formulas. But this, mark my words, when we do home finance, I will copy paste this into home finance. So if you're smart with your space, you can double dip with this one. Okay. Except for instead of loan, it's going to be mixed, replaced by mortgage, because mortgage is what a loan towards a house is called. Okay. Let's do some math here. Read carefully, please. Always read carefully. You need to borrow a total of $31,500 to buy a new car. We'll highlight that, but when financing, it doesn't really matter. They will give you the amount you need to borrow, like you need to pay overall. The dealership offers you a 5-year loan at 3.5%. Very important. They need to give you that. Calculate the monthly payment. So you have those formulas there, and I will write them out for now. Payment is equal to purchase minus down times table rate over 1,000. I'm just going table now. Okay. So here we go. What is the purchase price in this case? It's the $31,500. That's what you agreed to pay for the car. It's after tax. Don't worry about taxes, right? Is there a down payment? I read and I read again. There's no down payment. So it's just this. Then right next to it, I write down the 1,000 over 1,000, and this table rate, I'm gonna go get it. Okay. Write this down right here. So you match the year with the rate. Okay, so you're gonna match it, and you're gonna go get that one number from that table, and that's what's gonna go in here. So it's 5 years, and it's at the rate of 3.5%. Okay, so we're gonna match that on that table. A lot of you had Mr. Hudson, so let's see if that comes back. So I'm coming back to this. Okay, let's go to the table. Whoa, right? How many years are we talking about? 5 years. So we're gonna go way at the top here, go to 5, put your finger there. And then interest rate, we're gonna find 3.5 right there. And you go all the way over to year 5. And it is that. You can actually circle it if you want. Right? That is the rate that I need. It's a full mark, guys. Just to get that rate, it's a full mark. It's so hard, right? Did I get that right? I'm going to double check. Yep. 1819. I will tell you this. This number right here, it doesn't come back ever again. Like if this is an A, B, C, D, E, F, G question, it doesn't come back. Some students want to use it again. It doesn't. So let's calculate this. Grab your calculator. Whatever calculator you have, you want to make sure you get the number right. 31,500 times, watch how I do this, numerator times numerator, so times 18.19. I hit equal, Then I'm going to divide it by the denominator, which is 1,000. So that is $ 572. What would that round to? 99 per month. Yikes, right? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of hours working to pay that every month. And it's not even a high interest rate. So, and it's pretty accurate. This table is not 100%, but it's pretty close. The total amount paid back to the bank at 5 years. So I want you to hone in on total paid to the bank. See that? Those of you that don't have highlighters, you do the underlining. So total paid to the bank, that's what they're asking me for. That's payment times 12 times years. So I'm now making my formula a little bit more simplified, right? I'm not doing the brackets or anything like that. And so my payment is $572.99 times 12 times how many years? 5, right? There you go. And if you think about it, just hold on. 12 times 5 is 60, right? So you're really making 60 payments of that. That's why I tell you to do times 12 times years. You're basically finding how many months you took to pay. So $572.99, you can do this in one shot because it's all multiplying. 34. That's a lot of money. 34. 379. Oh, it's 0.4. I'm just gonna leave it because it's gonna take me half a second to write it down. I don't have that energy. Don't do it, right? Just do it. Just put it down. So let me put this into perspective. So you're saying, Mr. Jerkson, that you took out a loan for $31,500 and after 5 years you paid the bank $34,000? Why is it different? What's that difference between what you took out and what you paid back? Interest. That's the money. That's how the banks make money. They take your savings, they behind their backs, they give it out to a person getting a car loan. They get the money back, they give you your interest that you're earning on your savings. So it's like they always keep a little bit behind them, right? So now let's find the total interest. TI. And I'm going to use this formula. Payment times 12 times years minus loan. Can I go back here? Sorry, I want to make sure you understand that this part, whenever you subtract, you go purchase minus the down payment, that is actually the loan. In this case, there was no down payment, so the entire thing is the loan. So make sure you go up here to the 31,500, because once you have this number, you can use it again. Do you notice that this here is the same thing I just did before? But I'm going to pretend that I don't know that, right? So it's 572.99. Let's say this is a standalone question. They never asked for this before. Minus the loan. I'm going to continue over here. All of this is 34,379.40 because I already calculated that above. Minus 31,500. So I already have this on my calculator. So I'm just going to go minus 31,500, 2879.40. That is the finance charge. That's the interest that the bank made. And if you think about it, it's the smartest setup ever, being a bank, right? Because you're not even using your own money. You're using other people's money, right? and then you give it out. And just obviously they got to make sure you're not defaulting on your payments. You know what that means, right? Defaulting, bad word, you're not paying, right? Then they got to come and repo the car from you. They're gonna. Have you seen that show, The Repo, right? I don't know if you've seen those shows. Pretty cool. They actually have people coming down and somebody didn't pay for their private jet. They have a team that comes in and just like basically takes it, or a yacht, or like, right, like it's people don't make their payments, and they come and get it from you. They have the right, and not everywhere, but they do have the right to take it. What are we time wise? It's too close to the bell. I'm gonna leave it at that. How about this? No homework except for study sheet, right? That's always there.